me now to preview Workday's earnings. We've got Matt Tuttle, CEO and CIO of Tuttle Capital Management. Matt, thank you so much for joining us this morning. All right, so tech's rallied from those April lows. Workday, along with the cloud sector, has not. What does that underperformance tell you heading into earnings today?
Yeah, I mean, what it tells me is pretty simple. We're in a thematic market, and if you're in tech, you've either got to be a leader in some area of AI, which for Workday is agentic AI. You've got to have the potential to be the leader. You've got to be the supplier to the leader, or you've got to figure out some way to get some love from Trump. And I don't think Workday is positioned in any of those areas right now. And that's what the chart is telling you here.
Okay, they had this breach as well recently that they announced at the end of last week. It doesn't seem to be causing further damage to the stock, but to me, it certainly doesn't help in terms of the challenges facing the company. What do you think Workday needs to do to essentially get out of its own way?
So really for me, and I don't think we're going to see it, but for me, they've got to have a Nvidia 2023 type of earning announcement. You know, agentic AI is the future. We're the future of agentic AI. We're the best. Oh my God, I have to buy this stock. You know, there's a lot of competition from specialists and generalists. You know, really, I've got to, you know, convince me why I need to buy the stock. And, you know, I think that's, again, why you're seeing this chart where everything else is making new highs and they're not far from the Liberation Day lows.
And who do you see as Workday's biggest threat, or who do you prefer over Workday, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of them. You know, there are the obviously the Microsofts, the Oracles, the ADPs, you know, places like that. You know, to me, I'm still sticking. Who are the most likely winners in all areas of AI? It's Microsoft, it's Oracle, and those are companies now we can buy on a dip. I would not be buying ahead of Powell on Friday, but certainly I would much rather buy those guys on a dip than I would buy Workday.
Okay, you say the battleground really is now about agentic AI. What does Workday need to do to lean into that more?
You know, they've really got to come out with something that is ahead of everything else, that integrates with all the other software, you know, that helps companies, you know, make decisions and manage themselves better. And they've got to show that they are the leader. They are the must buy. I've got to have this product. You know, I run a company. I have employees. Convince me. Why do I need to have your product? Why is it a must have? Why are you going to be the leader in this area? And then what's your moat? You know, how are you going to keep some of these other guys from eating your lunch?
I like the point you made where you say convince me. So what would it take for Workday to convince you? Is it about beating and raising in terms of guidance? Is it how they manage the breach? Is it something they say about agentic AI on the earnings call today, for instance?
Yeah, I mean, it's not about beating and raising. I mean, that's, you know, that's one quarter. It's really more what they're saying about agentic AI. And, you know, really, like I said before, it's got to be, you know, like a Nvidia 2023 where it's like, oh my God, I didn't realize that. And again, I don't, you know, I'm not expecting it. I mean, if they do it, yeah, all right, I'll buy the stock. I don't own it now. You know, to me, like I said, it's a target-rich environment out there, especially on dips. Bunch of other stuff I'd rather own, but if they can come out and blow people away on agentic AI, then I'm happy to be wrong.
Okay, all right, Matt. We'll leave our conversation there for today. Thank you, Matt.